पर 28 2024. A boy named Lalam. He was from a poor family. His father used to sell coal. His mother used to tell Lalam daily that son, study, go to school. But Lalam did not listen to her. He used to go to school only sometimes and did not study at home. He used to be busy playing and roaming around with his friends. Lalam's friends were from middle class families. Their fathers were employed in government offices. Lalam's father used to go to bring and sell coal only sometimes, and the rest of the days he used to remain drunk. The time for examination came. Lalam gave the examination. But due to not studying, he failed in the examination. Days and years passed like this. Lalam was now 18 years old. Lalam's father did not go to bring and sell coal anymore. His father was now always drunk. Lalam's friends had now become businessmen. Because his friends had enough money, Lalam now used to go to bring and sell coal daily. One day Lalam tied 5 sacks on his bicycle and set out towards the mine to bring coal. It was summer season. After some time he reached the mine. The mine was quite old. He parked his cycle and started filling coal in sacks. There was scorching sunshine all around. Sweat was dripping from Lalam's forehead. Hot winds were blowing. Some motorcycles were seen coming on the road. The boys riding the motorcycles asked Lalam, "How are you, Lalam?" Lalam said, "I am fine." Those motorcycles went on their way. Lalam's friends were riding those motorcycles. Lalam kept staring at the motorcycles as they went. It was afternoon. Lalam filled the coal in sacks, and after loading the sacks on the bicycle, he started thinking to himself, "If only I had listened to my mother, then today I would not be digging coal." Today he was regretting it. He kept moving towards his home with his bicycle, cursing his life. Government hostel. September 30, 2024. Many children had come to a government hostel after passing the Navodaya examination conducted in government schools. Once while playing in the ground, 2 boys named Sanan and Gaman got into a fight over something. Gaman was a little stronger, so Sanan knocked Gaman down in the fight. After the scuffle, Sanan felt like taking revenge from Gaman. Both of them were around 15 years old. Some days passed. It was Sunday. Every Sunday, the hostel allowed children to watch TV for entertainment. There were many big rooms in the same hostel. There were many beds in those rooms. One of those rooms was considered haunted by people. A child had died in that room for some reason. That room was located on the 2nd floor and it was closed for many years. But today someone had opened that room. It was night time. The children in the hostel were watching TV. The clock was around 10 o'clock. Sanan had gone to the market in the morning and brought a claw. Its claw was pointed and sharp. A senior child watching TV said to Gaman, "You go and call Sanan. He will also watch TV for some time." When Sanan came to know that Gaman was coming to call me, he went to the room on the 2nd floor and sat down covering himself with a blanket. He went to Sanan's room, but he did not find Sanan. He thought that maybe he had gone to the room upstairs. Gaman reached the room on the 2nd floor via the stairs. He crossed 3 beds and went a little ahead. He saw someone covered with a blanket. He said, "Come on, let's go watch TV." Even after calling several times, there was no response. Then Gaman turned and started to go out of the room, when Sanan covered with a blanket ran and caught Gaman from behind and dug his claws on his hand. Gaman thought that he was a ghost and pushed him hard and ran away from there. There were claw marks on his hands. They looked like nail marks. Sanan thought, "Now the children and teachers can come here to investigate." So Sanan also ran away from there. Gaman's hand had become completely red and blood had started coming out of his hand. When the children and teachers saw this, they all got scared. Gaman was not able to utter a word due to fear. Everyone went to that room. But there was no one there. Gaman and everyone thought that this is the work of some ghost. In the morning, the parents came and took Gaman home. Sanan was saved by the ghost. Sanan was standing on the roof and was smiling to himself seeing Gaman going, Salo something different. October 3, 2024. In Salo, or the 120 Days of Sodom, you saw 4 rich men imprisoning several boys and girls in a mansion and torturing them and finally killing them all mercilessly. After killing them, the guards started dancing. There was a lot of blood splattered on the veranda and the corpses of the boys and girls were lying there. There was not a single piece of clothing on the corpses. Many body parts of those corpses were cut and scattered on the ground. After some time, on the orders of the rich men, that mansion was blown up with dynamite. They kept the remaining dynamite in their jeep. They all sat in their cars and started going towards the city. The guards were trying to burn the dynamite kept in the jeep and throw it away. Just then there was a huge explosion and the guards were blown to pieces. The cars stopped. After mourning for some time, those rich men, their wives and stewards started moving forward. There were many patrol tanks on the truck and stewards were riding on it. One steward lit his cigarette and started smoking it. At the same time, the truck passed over a speed breaker. due to which the burning cigarette fell on the petrol tank. The tank on which the burning cigarette fell was open, due to which the fierce fire engulfed those four stewards in no time. The truck stopped. They started burning in the blazing fire, started writhing in pain, started screaming and shouting. Those rich men and their wives started watching the scene. After some time, they calmed down. The truck also burned completely. They sat in their car and started going towards the city. After seeing these scenes, they started sweating due to the fear of death. Leaving their wives there, they sat in their car and started moving towards the city at a fast speed. At some distance from the road was being leveled by a road roller. That car became uncontrollable due to high speed and collided with the road roller. Due to this collision, the driver of the road roller fell into the grass. Slowly the car started getting crushed by the road roller. Along with that, those rich men also started getting crushed in pain. After some time, those four rich men died a painful death. Blood was splattered on the road and their crushed bodies were lying there. Flies were buzzing on them. On the other hand, their wives steal another truck and start driving it. But due to not being able to drive the truck, it falls down from the bridge and overturns. Due to this accident, they get seriously injured, but their lives are saved. The Rat Island. October 13, 2024. The people of the country were troubled by the damage caused by rats. The government of that country found a solution to get rid of the rats. As a solution, the government said that the rats present in the country will be released on an island. Foreigners can also release rats in large numbers on this island. They just have to pay a small amount. Slowly, rats started being released on that island. Everything was fine for a few months. But with the passage of time, the number of rats on that island increased to more than a lakh and their number kept increasing. That island was spread over just a few kilometers. It was as if the government had left them to die. There was neither rice nor wheat on that island. There were some coconut trees there and sand spread far and wide. Due to lack of food and a very large number, the rats went mad with hunger. The rats present in lakhs nibbled at other creatures living on that island, and some rats were even nibbling at some parts of their own bodies. A team to release the rats reached there. They got very scared seeing the scene there. Lakhs of rats were looking angrily at the team. Lakhs of rats came forward to attack them. They tried to run away. But by then lakhs of rats attacked them and started gnawing. They started shouting loudly. After some time the shouting stopped. The government banned releasing rats on the island and the government was forced to completely ban going to that island. That island became famous as Rat Island. But a few days after this incident, a terrible storm came on that island and a large number of rats were killed. But some rats who had not gone mad and were good, who somehow filled their stomachs by eating coconut leaves. They somehow reached the shore by floating. Due to rising water level, that island got submerged in the sea. Dying to live. October 5, 2024. Motilal Ji. He had 3 daughters, Sumu, Asha and Belly. All 3 daughters were married. Even after many years, Asha Ji did not have any children. Asha Ji treated her elder sisters, sons and daughters like her own children and loved them. Asha Ji's husband had a serious illness, due to which he could not survive for many years. Now she was alone. But she did not give up the desire to live and decided to live life well. She started living with her elder sister. They already had a cow. She bought a couple of goats. After a few days, she started making and selling muri puffed rice from rice. She started collecting the money received from selling muri. After many years, when enough money was collected, she would go with other women to visit and worship in temples located in far-off places. The first journey she made was from Jharkhand to Tamil Nadu, where many grand temples were located. The second journey she made was from Jharkhand to Uttar Pradesh, where a temple named Kashi was situated. The third journey she took with her younger sister and her children was from Delhi to Jammu and Kashmir, where the Vaishno Devi temple was situated. The fourth journey she took was from Jharkhand to Nepal. Even today she goes to fairs in the scorching sun and sells food items. She collects money and dreams of visiting new temples and new places. A girl named Perin came home a few years ago after completing her college studies. Her father worked abroad. Therefore, he rarely came home. Her mother had died. Perin had no siblings. Therefore, she lived alone in her big house. She did not lack anything. Her father used to transfer money to her account every month. She felt lonely in her house. After completing her college studies, she started spending most of her time watching porn videos. Slowly, time passed. Now, after eating, she would only watch porn videos and masturbate. She became mentally ill after watching porn videos for many hours every day. She went out of the house and went to a public place and started taking off her clothes. People were watching the scene and making videos. Perin took off all her clothes and started masturbating in front of people. All the people were laughing loudly after seeing Perin. Police officers came there and took Perrin with them. After reaching the police station, instead of dressing her, the officers made her take a Viagra pill and started having sex with her. This went on for several hours. One by one, everyone satisfied their lust. Perrin was still naked. The staff working in the mental asylum was called. Perrin was sent with them. The staff lost their temper on seeing Perrin and started having sex with her one by one. After some time, they reached the mental asylum. Perrin was still not dressed. The staff caught hold of her and started moving towards the electric room. Perrin started feeling a lot of pain in her vagina. She had now regained consciousness to a great extent. She was screaming, "Leave me." But due to Perrin's behavior a few hours before, the staff considered her to be insane. On the other hand, her video was going viral. Perrin was made to sit in the electric chair and was tied tightly. As soon as the staff pressed the button to give electric shock, Perrin screamed loudly and woke up from her sleep. Her forehead was covered with sweat. She started looking around. She was in her room and the clock was almost 3 in the night. She drank the water kept nearby. She realized that it was just a nightmare. She fell asleep mumbling in her mind, "Dark sex." The prank. October 13, 2024. A YouTuber named Janav used to upload prank videos on his YouTube channel, due to which people faced a lot of problems. Due to his pranks, many people did not even help the needy people thinking it to be a prank. He was also abused by people many times. But he did not improve. But Janav used to donate 50% of the money earned through his channel to the children of the orphanage, due to which the children of the orphanage used to bow down to him and give him blessings. Once Janav was planning to make a prank video at night. That night a small bulb was burning there. Two men were coming on a bike. There were speed breakers at that place on the road. The man sitting behind had a pistol for safety. They were coming slowly. Then Janav appeared in front of them wearing a scary costume in the darkness of the night and started moving towards them. Both the men got very scared. Only the bike's light and a small bulb were burning there. The man sitting behind the bike was so scared that he fired 3 bullets at him from his pistol. Seeing all this, the cameraman ran away from there. Janav fell down. Those men rode the bike and fled from there at a fast speed. At the last moment, Janav started remembering his parents. While remembering, tears suddenly appeared in his eyes. He was lying there and counting his few breaths. Just then a jeep of police officers was passing by. The police officers saw him. Without any delay, the officers admitted Janav to the hospital. After some time, his parents reached the hospital. The mother was crying continuously for her son. It was morning. The doctor said he is fine now. You bring these medicines. Janav's father went to get the medicines. Janav's mother thought, I will bring some food items. Thinking this, the mother went to the market to get food items. The sun was shining everywhere. The mother was bringing food. Then due to extreme sadness, anxiety, fatigue and insomnia, she had a heart attack. She fell down holding her chest with her hand. There was so much mischief in the city that everyone thought that she was also doing mischief like her son and no one helped her. After half an hour, the father reached there searching for his wife. The father picked her up and took her to the hospital with the help of a car. After examining her for some time, the doctor said she is no more. The doctor said sorry, if you had brought her a little earlier, she could have been saved. On receiving the news of his mother's death, tears started flowing from Janav's eyes while lying on the bed. After a few months, Janav became completely healthy. After a few days, when Janav came to know that his mother had died because of his bad mischief, he started crying bitterly holding his head. After that, Janav stopped making mischief videos and started making comedy videos. After a few years, he got a lot of fame due to comedy. Sometimes Janav would get sad remembering his mother. But today he was making millions of people laugh by drowning himself in sadness, madness. October 13, 2024. Segvi and Remak were childhood friends and neighbors. Segvi did not study well and Remak was very sharp in studies, due to which he was the most promising and studious boy in his school. When Segvi failed in the board exams many times, after which he started getting very annoyed with Remak. Even after a few years, Segvi remained in the 8th class and Remak completed her studies till 12th. After a few days, Segvi got fed up with studies and started thinking something. After thinking a lot, a mischievous plan was born in Segvi's mind, which was going to prove to be a big madness. The next day, Segvi wore black clothes, covered her face with a black cloth and took out a real pistol from the cupboard and set out to complete her plan. That pistol belonged to her father who was a police officer. It was evening time, Remak was returning home on his bicycle, then Segvi stopped Remak and pointed the pistol at him. Seeing the pistol, Remak's heart was beating loudly. Segvi said, will you have sex with me? Otherwise I will shoot you. Segvi had sex with her at the gunpoint and after some time she left from there as if nothing had happened. Remak returned home, but he did not tell anything to his family members due to shame. After a few months, Segvi again gave the exam without studying, but this time also she failed. Segvi thought that if I have sex with a very intelligent and successful person, then I will also become a intelligent and successful girl. Segvi now understood that one cannot become knowledgeable without acquiring knowledge. Her mind did not become intelligent, but she definitely got pregnant due to having sex without using a condom. When her family members came to know, Segvi was scolded a lot, but Segvi did not tell anyone about the naughty act done by her. After 9 months, Segvi gave birth to a child. A few weeks after the birth, her family members handed over the child to the parents, who had no children. A few days after that, Segvi got married in a hurry. Segvi regretted her mistake. She kept worrying about her child, and many times her eyes became moist while thinking. On the other hand, Remak also married a studious girl. Even today, while sleeping at night, Remak keeps thinking who that girl was and why did she do that. Bhelora, October 13, 2024. In ancient times, there used to be a palace at a place called Bhelora, which was surrounded by mountains and forests. The princess of the palace was very beautiful. Many servants worked in the palace. One servant, whose name was Garol, he often used to stare at the princess while she was coming and going. The princess also used to see Garol often. Both of them were more than 18 years old. Slowly, time passed and their affection grew. It was night time. The princess was sitting outside the palace, waiting for Garol. Just then her uncle came and forcibly tried to molest the princess. After some time, Garol reached there. Seeing the scene, Garol became furious. There was a lot of scuffle between Kakasa and Garol, due to which Dean got injured. The police reached there. The police caught Garol and took him away from there, and the princess did not say anything. On the insistence of the family, the princess gave false testimony in the court, due to which Garol was sentenced to 10 years. After a few days, the princess went to meet Garol. Garol said, "Why did you do this?" The princess said, "For the pride and honor of my family. Please forgive me." After that, the princess left from there. After hearing this, sparks of anger started burning in Garol's eyes. On the other hand, the princess got a kind of complicated disease, due to which she suffered from that disease for 10 years. After completing 10 years, Garol was released from jail. After so many years, the princess also became healthy after getting treatment from many doctors. After a few days, the princess's wedding took place. Bhelora was shining with lights everywhere. There was happiness everywhere. Then a news comes that someone has tied a rope to the feet of the groom who was to marry the princess and hung him from a tree and cut off his genitals. Blood was dripping from the cut genitals. That groom was admitted to the hospital, after which his life was saved. But the atmosphere of the wedding now turned into an atmosphere of mourning. Slowly time passed. Similarly, many grooms who were to marry the princess had the same fate. Now no one wanted to marry the princess. One day, the princess received a letter. It was written in the letter, "Your marriage will remain incomplete, your Garol." The princess got a shock after reading this. A report was filed in the police station. The search for Garol began. Now the princess would sit sad and silent. One day, fed up with all this, the princess decided to take a wrong step. She reached a deserted bridge, dressed up like a bride. She kept looking at the water of the river flowing under the bridge for some time and then jumped into the river. When Garol came to know about this, he was drowned in deep remorse. After some time, he also reached near that bridge. Tears were flowing from his eyes. Light cold winds were blowing. After a few minutes, Garol also jumped into that river. After shouting for some time, everything became quiet. Now it was evening and both of them were floating in the strong current of the river. Hope to reach home. October 13, 2024. A driver, a 12 or 13-year-old boy, the boy's elder brother and a friend of the elder brother, were traveling in a vehicle. They were going to a wedding for a feast. It was night time. After a few hours they reached the wedding. After eating the feast, they all strolled around for a while in the wedding. After that they got on the vehicle and started going towards home. After traveling some distance, the vehicle stopped. Perhaps there was some problem with the vehicle. It was going to be morning after some time. It was 4:30 in the night. Everyone got down from the vehicle. The driver looked at the vehicle for some time and tried to fix it. But he could not fix the vehicle, and started looking for a mechanic. After some time, it was morning. The driver came near the vehicle and said, "I could not find a mechanic." They all started looking here and there. They were in a village where there was silence. There were many huts in the village. But apart from them, there was no other person in that village. There was a cot lying near a hut. They lifted the cot and the boy and his brother's friend sat on it. There was liquor and petrol in a big can in the vehicle. The boy's elder brother secretly started drinking liquor in bottles one after the other. When the driver saw this, he also drank some liquor. The boy's elder brother got drunk and started taking off his clothes and went and lay down in front of the wall of the hut wearing only his underwear. The driver also went and slept there. It was as if he was not worried about going home. Due to the summer season, the sun was very strong. Sunlight was spread all around and hot winds were blowing. The owner of the vehicle, that is, the boy's elder brother's friend, was very angry. He could not control his anger, and in anger, he took out the petrol present in the vehicle and set them on fire. The boy got scared seeing this and ran away from there. He kept running until he was far away from there. On the other hand, due to the fire, both of them died in agony. As soon as the owner of the vehicle sat on the cot, a poisonous snake bit him. The owner of the vehicle tried to run away from here, but his foot hit a stone. While trying to control himself, he caught hold of a hanging wire. After which, due to high voltage current, he died in a short time. That boy would stop and then run, then stop and then run. While doing this, he reached a city. His breathing was fast. He was tired and had also forgotten the way home. He sat under a tree and started looking around in fear. A lot of time passed. That boy spent the night climbing a tree. It was morning. The sounds of birds and vehicles started coming. He woke up from sleep. He was very hungry, but he had neither food nor money. He plucked leaves from the tree and ate as much as he could. When he remembered his home, tears suddenly appeared in his eyes. He came down from the tree and started running. He did not know where he was going. He was just hoping that he would reach home someday. Saiyar alive. October 13, 2024. You saw in the movie Saiyar that on the pretext of giving a job to a village girl named Saiyar, an MLA makes love to her. After a few days, the MLA's son and some of his friends kidnap Saiyar from the road and rape her for several days in a deserted house. The police arrest those boys with evidence. The MLA's son and his friends are left on bail and Saiyar takes help from one of her friends, who was a lawyer, to get justice. When the MLA comes to know about this, the MLA's men take Sia's father out and beat him up so much that he leaves him half dead. After a few days, Sia's uncle is also taken away by the police officers. A few days ago, this case was handed over to the CBI. That's why the MLA was scared. After suffering so much, Sia's father could not survive. Fearing the possibility of getting punished for murder, Sia's father is burnt alive at night on the orders of the MLA. After that, Saiyar, her mother, her aunt and lawyer were going to the court in a taxi. Then a truck hits them. After which Saiyar gets injured and everyone else is killed. On the other hand, Saiyar is lying on the hospital bed. After a few days, Saiyar regains consciousness. Outside the room, her younger brother and CBI officers were waiting for her. After questioning by those officers, Saiyar starts resting. After a few hours, it becomes night. Saiyar peeks outside the room and sees that all the CBI officers have left from there. Saiyar leaves from there with her younger brother. After walking for several hours, they had come quite far from there. They saw an orphanage. They sat under a tree near that orphanage. In the morning, when the orphanage opened, Saiyar left her younger brother in the orphanage and went from there. After walking for several hours, she went several kilometers away from that village. The case was closed as Saiyar ran away. Saiyar went to a small forest. She started living on top of a tree. Day by day, Sia's anger was increasing. When she felt hungry, she would chew the leaves of the tree. She had heard about dynamite from somewhere. A dangerous plan was born in her mind. She would sleep during the day and at night she would go from village to village and steal dynamite from the fishermen. Sometimes she would steal dynamite from factories as well. When more than 10 kilos of dynamite would accumulate, Saiyar would take those dynamite and fit it under the walls of the MLA's house and cover it with soil. While doing this, her body would start aching due to fatigue. While doing this, about 6 months passed and the day came when more than 100 kilos of dynamite were fitted. Saiyar connected the dynamite to the control box. She tried to activate it. All the dynamite was connected by an electric wire. It was a dark night. The MLA, his men, his son's friends, the women of the house and small children were also present in that house. Saiyar kept trying the whole night. But the dynamite did not activate. It was morning. Some police officers were passing by and they saw Saiyar. The officer started taking Saiyar away from there and said in a loud voice, "You all will not touch anything here." But that day everyone was in deep sleep. So no one heard properly. The officer left from there with Saiyar and the search team was called. After some time the women and children got ready and went to worship in the temple. A man of the house started going towards the back of the house to urinate. He was still half asleep. The rest of the members of the house were still in deep sleep. There were dark clouds in the sky and there was also a mild thunder. While walking towards the back of the house, his foot hit the control box and the button to activate the dynamite got pressed. Due to which the dynamite got activated and an explosion occurred. Due to which the house collapsed in a short time. The person whose foot hit the box also died by getting buried under the debris of the house. All the people present in the house died due to the explosion and the debris of the destroyed house. Some time ago, Sayo was cursing God in her mind. But when she got the news of the house getting destroyed and the death of the criminals, she became happy. On the other hand, the MLA's wife was feeling very remorseful because she remained silent even after knowing the evil deeds of her son and husband. Sayo was presented in the court. The MLA's wife came to the court and told the whole truth. After which the MLA, his men, his son and his friends were declared criminals. The court sentenced Sayo to a few years of imprisonment for stealing dynamite, trying to destroy the house with dynamite, and not killing anyone. Sayo was released after completing the sentence. Sayo reached the ashram after walking for several hours. The younger brother, on seeing his elder sister, hugged her and started crying loudly. It was evening. The sun was about to set after some time. Sayo started walking towards her village holding her younger brother's hand, the unknown village. October 13, 2024. Sunida, who became a new teacher a few days ago, was extremely happy. She was extremely happy. But the school where she was appointed was quite far from the city. The next day, she was leaving after taking her father's blessings when her father said, "Daughter, take some change with you. It will be useful for you." Sunida said, "Father, I will take change from someone outside." After that, she left the house. She started walking towards the bus stop. After some time, she reached near the bus stop. She caught the bus and started walking towards the school. There is an unknown village before that school. When Sunida searched the name of the school on the map of the smartphone, it came up. But there was no information available on the map about that unknown village located a little distance from the school, or maybe no one had left any information. She was a little surprised to see this. After a few hours, the bus started passing through that village. When Sunida looked out of the window, she felt a little nervous. There was no shop in that village. People sitting outside were just looking at Sunida. It was as if their eyes were fixed on Sunida only. Sunida closed the window of the bus and started listening to some songs on her smartphone. After some time, the bus reached near the school. Sunida got down from the bus and started going towards the school. A child from the school started running with Sunida's smartphone. Sunida also started running after him. In this running around, her smartphone got broken. Other teachers also went there. Sunida felt bad. But still she forgave the child. Sunida shows them her appointment letter and introduces herself. After that, she goes to the class and starts teaching. During the lunch break, when Sunida was having food, that boy sitting on the bench next to Sunida said, "Ma'am, I am sorry." After that boy said, "Ma'am, you should leave from here before night, and if you ever have to stay here at night, then under no circumstances do not open your door at night." Sunida said, "Why?" The boy was about to speak now when the bell rang. That boy went to his class. Sunida thought, he must be joking. They did not pay much attention to what that boy said. School closed in the afternoon. Sunida started waiting for the bus. A teacher asked Sunida, "Can I drop you somewhere?" Sunida said, "The bus is about to come, I will go by bus." The rest of the teachers started towards their homes in their vehicles. But Sunida did not know that the bus had already left today. The bus used to return in the evening. But due to some work, the bus had already left today. There was no house near the school. It was evening. But not the bus. After seeing those people, Sunida did not have the courage to go to that unknown village. Slowly the evening started setting. Sunida decided to stay in the school today. She gathered courage and broke the lock of the class with a stone and went inside. She closed the doors and windows properly from inside. It was night. The sounds of insects and jackals were coming. Sunida lay down on a bench. After some time, there was a knock on the door. Hearing the knocking sound, Sunida got up and sat on the bench. The first time she did not open the door, the second time also she did not open the door. But the third time she heard someone knocking, she thought, maybe someone is in some trouble. Thinking this, she opened the door. She was shocked to see outside. Around 50 people were standing outside and they were just looking at Sunida. Sunida tried to close the door, but by then one man caught her. The other man tied her mouth tightly with a cloth. Those people took off Sunida's clothes one by one. Those people picked up Sunida and took her to a deserted place. Those people started raping Sunida one by one. After some time, Sunida died. Blood started dripping from her vagina. They did not even leave Sunida's dead body. The remaining people started having sex with the dead body. After a few hours, when their lust was satiated, they threw Sunida's body in a deep pit. When the police inquired, neither any villager nor any school employee told anything. Due to fear, they were making up false stories and telling them to the police officer. When the police could not find anything after the inquiry, they closed the case and wrote, "Missing," on Sunida's posters and pasted them on the walls. After a few years, a virus spread in that village. All the hundreds of people in that village, except for 50 people, became fine. But the surprising thing was that those 50 villagers were taking the doctor's medicines, but instead of reducing, the disease was increasing. The doctors were also surprised by this. Those 50 villagers started vomiting blood and the skin of their bodies started to peel off slowly. They were having unbearable pain. They were telling the doctor kill us. But the doctor could not do that. He died after suffering for a few days. Nasaki, a 23-year-old farmer's son. When he was young, an IAS officer had come to his village. Everyone was respecting that officer. Since then, Nasaki had a desire to become an IAS officer. Nasaki's mother had died in his childhood. After completing graduation, Nasaki started preparing for UPSC. He did not have enough money to go to the city and study. So he thought of studying from home. He used to study for 2.5 hours in the morning and 2.5 hours in the evening. His friends would tell him, "Hey friend, at least give the exam." But he would say, "I will give the exam only after preparing well." After a few days, when Nasaki went out, many people would say about him, "Boys who go out and take tuitions are not able to pass the UPSC exam, and this farmer's son will pass the exam by studying from home." These things used to hurt Nasaki. But still he would calmly walk away from there. After about 7 years, Nasaki had read more than 25 books related to the exam. He was now 30 years old. The day Nasaki was going to give the exam, bank and police officials came and took his father away. Because his father had taken a loan of 25,000 rupees from the bank for his son's education. But in this inflation, he was not able to repay the loan on time. Already the house and farm land were mortgaged to someone else. Nasaki's eyes became moist. He became sad. But still he went to the city and gave the UPSC exam. After a few months, Nasaki had passed both the exams in the first attempt itself. There was no limit to his happiness. But still one thing was left. That was the interview. When Nasaki went to the police station and told this news to his father, tears of joy appeared in his father's eyes. Nasaki used to go to meet his father sometimes. After a few weeks, he had to go for an interview. He kept trying by watching several interview videos on YouTube platform on his smartphone. The day of the interview came. Nasaki got ready and went for the interview. The interview went well. The officers taking the interview said, "You have cleared the interview. But there are less seats and more students. Therefore, you will have to give us at least 5 lakh rupees. Only then can you become an IAS officer." Nasaki spontaneously said bribe. The officers said, "Yes brother, whatever you call it. If you are able to arrange 5 lakhs after a few days, then your seat is confirmed, otherwise leave from here right now." Nasaki started leaving from there with a sad face. The officers were saying there is no money in the pocket and you are going to become an IAS. Nasaki was sitting under the street light at night and looking at the trees and plants. Tears were coming out of his eyes and were dripping down. In the morning, he caught a bus to his village and went to his home. He did not tell his father about these things because he did not want to make his father sad. He started earning his livelihood by working as a laborer for several months. After 1 year, when Nasaki was drinking tea, he saw a newspaper hanging on the shop. He started reading that newspaper. It was written in it that CBI raided the house of the officers who took the interview. Crores of rupees of black money was seized from their house and they have been suspended from their posts. They have also been arrested. After knowing this, Nasaki started laughing loudly and started running towards his house. He started studying again and gave the exam again this time. Nasaki passed the exam in the second attempt as well. He also passed the interview. After a few years of training, he returned to his village as an IAS officer. The villagers were honoring him and garlanding him with flowers. A month later, after repaying the bank loan, he releases his father and starts taking him to his new home, motherhood. October 13, 2024. Lalita Devi was born in a small village. She had 2 sisters and 6 brothers. During her childhood, Lalita was going to school. Her eyes fell on a girl named Khoma. Khoma's father was employed in BCCL. He had a good salary. Khoma used to go to school every day wearing different clothes and slippers. Lalita was surprised to see her pomp and show. Lalita used to play games with her brothers and sisters, celebrate festivals. After studying for a few years, Lalita left her studies. She had studied till 6th or 7th standard. She now used to do household work. After a few years, when she became eligible for marriage, her parents got her married to a man named Shankar. The income of the house was not good. Shankarji's father used to go to work for some days and the rest of the days he used to remain drunk. Shankarji used to sell coal. After about a year, they had a son. But after a few years, the child could not survive because he suffered from jaundice. This made Lalita ji sad. The second time her child was born, he was in a critical condition. The doctors tried to save him, but he could not be saved. Lalita ji was again sad. Tears rolled down the eyes of the parents. Other family members suggested that the dead child be buried a little distance from the river under the bridge. The dead child was buried. After that, a third child was born. This time a girl was born. There was a wave of happiness in the house. At that time Lalita ji had 5 sisters-in-law. Some of them were married. But those who were married used to stay less at their husband's house and used to stay at their parents' house for many months and years. Because here they did not have to work much. Also, their children also lived with them. Lalita ji had to work more. The sisters-in-law used to work less and rest more. One day her daughter went to the ration shop to buy biscuits. She did not have money. So she asked the ration shop owner for a biscuit worth 50 paise on credit. But the ration shop owner refused and drove her away. She went to her mother crying. Then her mother bought her biscuits. About 1 or 2 years later, the fourth child was born. But the condition of that child was also serious. After treatment by doctors, the condition of the child improved a bit. After a few weeks, the doctors prescribed medicines and advised to keep this child in front of the light of a bulb. At that time there was no electricity in village. So they decided to take that child to the house of the eldest sister-in-law. The elder sister-in-law lived in her in-law's house, which was located in Dhanbad district. Her husband worked in BCCL and there was electricity in their house. The child was kept at the elder sister-in-law's house for about 1.5 months. The father used to come to meet him occasionally. Many times Lalita ji went with her husband to show the child to the doctor. When the child became healthy, he was brought home. A few months passed. Lalita ji's husband left the job of selling coal and fish and started a hardware shop with the money he had saved. After about 5 years, Lalita ji had a fifth child. The child did not have any serious disease. But in childhood, he used to have pain in his ears many times. Due to which he would start crying loudly. Shankar ji would try to pacify him by picking up the child in his lap. Hearing the child's crying voice, the mother also felt like crying. After getting treatment from the doctor, his ear pain got cured in a few months. After about 2 years, the sixth child was born. He also did not have any serious disease. But a disease called pachis troubled him a bit, which got cured later. That sixth child was 7 or 8 years old. At the time, when his mother would bring food to him, many times he would lie and get his mother scolded by his father. Even then the mother would forgive the child. When their daughter became eligible for marriage, she was married with great pomp and show. After a few years, the sixth boy became mentally ill. He was taken to many tantrics and doctors. But he did not get cured. This increased the worry of the parents. But after a few years, he came out of the mental illness. About 7 years after the daughter's marriage, her husband committed suicide due to fear of corona disease. The daughter had now become a widow. Lalita ji and her family members started crying. On the other hand, the daughter who was in her in-laws' house got a shock. She had 2 children. She was worried from inside about how she would raise her small children. After this incident, many times tears would appear in the eyes of the parents thinking about their daughter and her children. The mind would become sad. But the parents supported their daughter wholeheartedly. Their daughter stayed in her maternal home for many months. After that she went to her in-laws' house. Lalita ji used to worry about her daughter and her children. When her grandchildren came to her house, she would pamper them. She would fulfill their small desires. She would send food to them. College delinquent. October 13, 2024. Teachers' Day was being celebrated in the college. Many students decided to spend the night in the college. In the morning, when the teachers and students reached the college courtyard, they were terrified to see the scene there. There was a dead body lying in the courtyard and it was of a student studying in the college who was celebrating Teachers' Day party last night. It looked like he had been stabbed several times in the stomach. A lot of blood was scattered on the ground. After some time, the police officers were informed and they took the body with them. People present in the college were also questioned. The next day, 3 brothers came to the city with their father. The college was in the city itself. The student whose dead body was found in the college was a friend of his elder brother. The younger brother loved to watch detective movies. He was around 18 years old. Being a friend of the elder brother, the younger brother reached the college and started investigating. Somehow he got a clue about the culprit. It was afternoon. The ground was also getting hot due to the scorching sun. The younger brother leaves from there in despair. Another man was watching all this. That man starts following him. The younger brother reaches the rented house. He sees father and other brothers were fast asleep on the bed. The door was open. Suddenly that man comes in the room and starts threatening the younger brother. He starts saying, "Leave the investigation and inquiry of that murder, otherwise I will kill you." Hearing this, the younger brother gets scared and says, Okay, okay. That man leaves from there. After that, he takes a deep breath, wipes the sweat from his forehead, closes the door, and sleeps on the bed with his other brothers. Third day. There is a knock on the door. The younger brother opens the door. There was a crowd of students outside. The students were accusing the younger brother that he is the culprit, he is the culprit. Because the second day, he was searching for something at that place. The police officer, after hearing all this, does not arrest him because his picture was not in the CCTV footage installed at the college gate. The police officer knew that the culprit was someone from the college itself. But who? The police officers did not know this yet. Nor was the knife found. On the fourth day, father and three brothers sit in the vehicle and start going towards home. But the younger brother and his uncle's elder brother get down to buy some stuff. After buying stuff, they run towards the vehicle, but the vehicle misses. There is a sound of a collision. When they look, they see that a woman has met with an accident with her scooty. They pick up that woman and make her lie down at a place. After that, they call the ambulance. The ambulance arrives after about half an hour. The ambulance takes that woman to the hospital. Both of them stand on the side of the road and start waiting for another vehicle. The second vehicle comes and stops. First, the uncle's elder son gets on the vehicle and comes back after some time. There was a different happiness on his face. The vehicle was stopped there. What is inside the vehicle? The younger brother also goes inside the vehicle to see it. The younger brother is surprised to see the scene. A foreign woman was sitting completely naked on a soft bed inside the vehicle. That woman was smiling, looking at him. The younger brother could not resist. He also became completely naked and started having vaginal sex with her for a long time. Then a voice comes, "Get up. It has been a long time." He wakes up from sleep. He realizes that it was just a dream. He starts looking here and there and starts thinking about the dream he saw in sleep. His eyes fall on his pants, which had become a little wet. After that, he gets up from the bed and goes to wash his hands and face. The tragedy. October 13, 2024. Today, Adolf killed two rats by drowning them in water. Someday, he poured oil on the stairs and made one of his family members fall. Sometimes he threw the dog from the roof. Every day he tortured and killed some animal or the other. He enjoyed doing all this. The family members were worried. Adolf was almost 18 years old. It was 4 o'clock in the night. Adolf wore his slippers and came out of the house. He was walking on the dirt road. He saw a heap of sand. He went near the heap and started playing with the sand. There was a huge mango tree there. Sounds started coming from the branches of the tree. Adolf looked up. His forehead started getting covered with sweat. A black monkey was looking at him angrily. Its eyes had turned red. A few days ago, Adolf had set fire to that monkey on the pretext of giving it food. That monkey saved its life by going to the nearby pond. But his body had turned black. Adolf got up from there and started running. Someone had left an axe there. The monkey jumped from the tree and started running towards Adolf with the axe. Adolf's foot hit a stone. He fell down. He was about to attack him with the axe when Adolf wakes up from sleep screaming loudly. He looks around. He realizes that it was just a dream. He goes to the place where he had brutally burned the monkey. Seeing the dead body of the monkey, he laughs loudly. Then a thick trunk of a mango tree breaks and falls on him. He gets injured and gets buried under it. He lies lifeless for several hours. After that, his family members come and admit him to the hospital. After suffering from pain for several days. After getting treatment. After about a few months, he gets well. The family members explain again, don't do wrong things. Hearing this, Adolf starts laughing. Angry, his mother slaps him. Some days pass. It was evening time. Adolf was looking here and there from the roof. A tap was being made at some distance. His eyes fell on his father, who was helping in making the tap. He came down the stairs. While walking, he started moving towards his father. The sun was setting. The work of the tap was completed. His father started going through the shortcut path, which was a kucha path. Adolf started following him. The distance between them was around 10 meters. His father turned from the path and started moving towards the house. Adolf was also about to turn and move towards the house when a woman held his hand tightly. There were two more men with that woman. He thought, these people were not kidnappers. At that time, Adolf was so scared that he was not able to speak. He was trying hard to free his hand. All three of them were laughing in a scary way. Adolf bit their hand with his teeth and ran towards his house after freeing his hand. 2 weeks later, Adolf along with his companions planned to rob a small bank. Then a baby goat starts licking his feet. Adolf gets angry and kicks it hard. After which it starts crying loudly. Seeing this, Adolf becomes very happy in his heart. His companions feel bad about this behavior of Adolf. Nighttime. They wear black clothes and try to break the lock of the bank at around 4 in the night. Due to the loud noise, after some time police officers reach there. They start running from there. The officers fire bullets. But the bullets go past them. They keep running for a long time. They reach inside a small forest. After some time it is morning. They look at the top of a tree. Their hearts start beating fast due to fear. A man was hanging from a noose on top of a tree. Seeing the scene, they run towards their house at a fast pace. It was around 11 o'clock at night. It was a moonlit night. Adolf opens the door and looks down the stairs. Their clown was looking at Adolf with a scary smile. Adolf, scared, slams the door shut. His elder brother asks him what happened. He says nothing. In the evening, he was going on the road. He finds a revolver lying there. He picks it up and keeps it with him. He starts moving forward. Ahead of him, a wedding procession was going. In that procession, a clown was dancing slowly. Adolf fires a bullet at the clown with his revolver. After being hit by the bullet, the clown falls down on the ground. Adolf runs away from there. After a few hours, he realizes that it was another clown. But instead of feeling remorse, he laughs out loud. He takes his revolver and starts shooting at the animals that come near him. 5 innocent animals are shot dead on the spot. The next day, an investigation begins into the incident. But he goes to another city. To a relative's wedding. The wedding preparations were going on. A girl takes him by the hand and takes him up the stairs to a room. There was a cunt, a wooden stool kept there. Adolf thinks she probably wants to have sex with me. Adolf climbs on top of her. Excited, he ejaculates in his pants. The girl's mother and Adolf's father were already present in the room. They were hiding. When Adolf sees his father, he stands up in fear. His father gets angry and leaves without saying anything. The girl and her mother also leave. Adolf, a little sad, starts coming down the stairs. He starts walking in a field situated some distance away from the wedding house. Something is visible in the moonlight. He felt that there was something under his feet. But what was it? He did not know. He looks ahead. In front of the wedding house, a tree had been lit up. Under it, a baby goat was smiling at Adolf. Adolf thinks a lot. After that, he realizes that it is an old landmine. He drowns in sorrow for some time. He regrets remembering his bad deeds. After that, he smiles at the baby goat and moves his foot away. There is an explosion and his body is blown to pieces. Uncontrolled helicopter. October 13, 2024. Sidhu was a strong 19-year-old boy. His body was a little bulky and fat. Other boys used to make fun of him. They used to tease him by calling him elephant. Also, no one used to play with him or go out with him. He used to feel sad. One day he went to a fair. He parked his bicycle and started watching cricket. Some boys of his village were playing cricket at some distance from the fair. In a rough field, he was sitting alone at one place. A ball comes to him. A mischievous boy named Chitman. He comes to Sidhu, abuses his mother and says give the ball here. Sidhu gets angry and throws the ball towards the bushes with force using his hand. After that all the boys present there come and tell Sidhu if you do not find the ball, then tomorrow we all will beat you. They leave from there. Sidhu alone starts searching for the ball in the bushes. After some time, it was about to be evening. He does not find the ball. Disappointed, he takes his bicycle and goes home. The next day, Sidhu's father had bought a new ball a few weeks ago. He gives his new ball to those boys. They become happy after getting the new ball. But Chitman did not enjoy it much. Because Chitman had come here to enjoy beating Sidhu. But something else happened. Still Chitman calls him a big fool and goes away from there. Sidhu used to feed biscuits to the sheep and goats sometimes. He used to get a lot of happiness by doing this. It was evening time. He wore his slippers and started going towards the garden. There 2 girls started calling him. He reached the girls. The girls said, will you help us? He said, what kind of help? The girls said, will you help us in checking the condom? Sidhu hesitated a bit and said yes, of course. Sidhu started having sex with those girls wearing different condoms. Sidhu was enjoying it a lot. He had sex for the first time. The sun had set. It was dark and there was no one around. After completing this task, Sidhu and those girls went to their respective homes. After using the mobile for a long time, Sidhu lay down on the roof, spreading a blanket to sleep. Then an uncontrolled helicopter is seen flying a few meters above the roof. A man wearing a yellow jersey was seen sitting on the back seat of the helicopter. Sidhu felt that the helicopter might fall on him. The uncontrolled helicopter kept flying here and there and fell on the wall in the courtyard of Chitman's house. What happened? To see this, Sidhu got up in a hurry and started looking from the roof. He prayed to God and started thinking in his mind. If this uncontrolled helicopter had fallen on me, what a big accident could have happened. Due to the fall of the uncontrolled helicopter, the wall had broken and fallen down. More and more people were gathering there. Flames started coming out of the helicopter. A lot of smoke was coming out and rising towards the sky. A young woman. October 13, 2024. Mindani was very beautiful. When she was born, her parents died in an accident. She was brought up by her grandmother. She used to blog from a young age, in which her grandmother used to support her a lot. She left her studies after 10th class. After a few years, her YouTube channel had become very famous. Now she had also started earning online. Now she used to travel to new places with her grandmother. She used to create new blogs. She used to get a lot of views and likes. After a few days, Mindani goes to the market to buy vegetables. A young man named Sonich, who was a drug addict. He used to harass some girl every day. He comes to her and says, "Will you have sex with me?" At first, Mindani is surprised to hear this. After that, she gets angry and says no to him. Sonich used to watch porn videos and take drugs every day. Due to Sonich's bad habits, his father left him and settled in another city. His mother had already passed away. He used to work as a clown in a circus. That was his livelihood. It was night time. Mindani's grandmother was fast asleep. It was 1 o'clock in the night. Her grandmother was fast asleep. Mindani was unable to sleep. So she was watching reels on her smartphone. There was silence all around. She started hearing loud noises from the door of the house. When she looked through the window, she got scared. Sonich, dressed as a clown, was banging the door loudly. He had an axe in his hand. Sonich sees Mindani. He looks at her with a scary smile. After that, he starts hitting the wooden door with the axe. Mindani's face fills with fear. Without delay, she calls 100. The police station was about a kilometer away from here. So the policemen reach here very soon. The door was broken. Sonich was about to enter the house when the policeman caught him. Mindani feels relieved. Even now the grandmother was fast asleep. In the morning, she tells the whole incident to the grandmother. Hearing this, the grandmother gets very scared. After this incident, Mindani donates 25% of her earnings to orphanages. She also helps the needy. By doing this, she feels a different kind of happiness. 1 month later, Mindani and her grandmother go for a walk in the forest. The grandmother told her many times, "We should not stay here at night." How could the grandmother leave her alone? Both of them made a tent and spent the night. Necessary things were present in the tent. 3 days ago, Sonich got released from jail by giving a bribe of 25,000 to a policeman. Immediately after his release, he started searching for Mindani. Now Mindani was listening to stories with her head on Daddy's lap. Both of them were unaware that Sonich was present in the forest. The moon was shining in the moonlit night. Some things were visible in its light. Sonich suddenly enters the tent and drags Mindani out. She screams loudly. Sonich hits her on the head with a stick, due to which she gets injured. He attacks her to satisfy his lust. But Daddy hits him on the head with a stick and injures him. Daddy picks up Mindani and says, "Daughter, run away from here. I will take care of her." Mindani starts running away from there, falling down. Then Sonich gets angry and ties Daddy's neck with the rope tied to the tent and starts pulling the other end to the tree. Daddy starts suffocating. He hangs Daddy with a noose and ties the other end to the tree. Grandma rides in pain for some time. After that she dies. Now Sonich starts following her. Mindani reaches near a high waterfall. Mindani pushes a stone into the waterfall and hides somewhere. Sonich comes there. He heard the sound of someone falling into the waterfall. He goes near the waterfall and looks. He feels that the girl has jumped into the waterfall. He was regretting not being able to satisfy his lust. He thought, "At least I will find another girl." He moves his feet to go from there. Then his foot slips and his head hits a stone hard. He falls from a height into the waterfall. After writhing in pain for some time, he dies a painful death. His dead body was floating in the fast flowing water. Mindani comes near the tent. Seeing Grandma hanging from the tree, she faints and falls down. In the morning, the forest officer comes there and brings her grandmother down and sprinkles water on Mindani, bringing her back to consciousness. She is taken to the hospital. After a few days, the bribe-taking policeman is removed from his post. The grandmother's body is buried in the ground. Now Mindani sells that house and starts living in an orphanage, spending time with the children. Third person. October 13, 2024. Ramu, the elder son of the parents, had developed a habit of addiction. Most of the time he was busy in gambling online and consuming drugs. His parents scolded him many times. But he would not listen to them. Nor would he pay attention to what the family members said. The parents thought, why not get the elder son married? Maybe with the arrival of a daughter-in-law, he will improve. They started looking for a match for him. After looking at many girls, finally he liked a girl. After a few months, they got married. Both of them were happy. After a few days, Ramu's wife Vasuna goes to her maternal home. Ramu was unaware that a third person had already entered between them. Vasuna had fallen in love with her real uncle's son Siduram. Vasuna and Siduram had started loving each other since childhood. When Vasuna passed the 10th grade examination, the talk of her marriage started in the family. Due to which Siduram once found Vasuna alone, applied sindoor on her mang and ran away from there. Now Vasuna's post-wedding rituals were being completed at her maternal home. As soon as Siduram saw Vasuna, he kept looking at her. His eyes were not moving away from her. He was just looking at her. Ramu left his wife at her maternal home and went to his home the very next day. When all the rituals were completed, Vasuna was sitting alone in the room, enhancing her makeup. Then Siduram comes in the room. Vasuna and Siduram look at each other for some time. After that he comes and sits next to Vasuna. Both talk for a long time. After that they both have sex. After a month, Ramu brings her back to her in-laws. Vasuna goes to her maternal home on every festival. The sequence of Siduram and Vasuna continued. After Ramu and Vasuna's relationship for many months. After about 8 months, Vasuna gives birth to a child, who was named Taruni. After a few months, the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law start quarreling. The daughter-in-law also leaves the household work, puts the child to sleep or hands over the child to her father-in-law, and spends most of the time watching TV. When she feels like it, she does a little work. She talks to Siduram on the phone in such an excited manner that Ramu starts suspecting her. Due to which Ramu scolds her many times, pretending to be her second sister. But it does not have much effect on her. Ramu was still looking for work. His wife now insists on going to her parents' house every 2 or 1.5 months. Due to which Ramu gets angry many times. After a year, Vasuna divorces Ramu and after abusing him, fighting with him, she takes her daughter with her to Siduram. Ramu stands there sadly and watches. After that, Ramu and his family also come to know about this. Siduram was also an unemployed youth. His father used to sell smartphones. She tells Siduram, now we can get married. Siduram says, I cannot marry you. Siduram leaves from there. In reality, Siduram did not love Vasuna. He was just pretending and satisfying his lust. At that time, Vasuna started regretting a lot. She sat down on her knees. Slow rain started falling. Tears started falling from Vasuna's eyes. Her parents also did not allow Vasuna to stay in the house. A few weeks after this incident, Ramu went out to work. 3 years later, Siduram had opened a shop by taking a loan from the bank. But it did not work and he drowned in debt. Ramu now works in a company on a good salary. On the other hand, Vasuna lives in a rented house and feeds herself and her daughter by doing swing work. Sometimes Ramu comes to meet his daughter. I would buy the things she needed and show her love. Chandralekha. October 13, 2024. In the 16th century, the king of a small kingdom was Chandrasej. The name of his kingdom was Satnampur. The kingdom of Satnampur was flourishing. Chandrasej had an only daughter, whose name was Chandralekha. She was about 20 years old. She was an expert in dancing. She was also very beautiful. Her dance and beauty were discussed all over the kingdom. Chandrasej and his wife were very worried about her marriage. They were always afraid that some other powerful king might attack our kingdom. A few years later, it was the day of Diwali. The whole kingdom was shining with the light of diyas. The festival was being celebrated with great pomp. A spy comes panting and says a ruthless King Nagavannam is moving towards our kingdom with his huge army. He is so ruthless that after conquering the kingdom, he kidnaps all the women present in the kingdom and burns the rest alive. Hearing this, the happiness and joy of the people of the kingdom vanishes in a few moments. It is also said about him that a year ago, he killed his father and became the king himself. Chandrasej had enough time to go far away with his family. But when he saw the sad and scared faces of the people of the kingdom, he decided to fight. Chandrasej said to his daughter Chandralekha, you take your mother and go far away from here on a fast horse. But his daughter refuses to run away from here and decides to fight. Many people of the kingdom start fleeing from here. At the same time, many people of the kingdom are ready to support the king. After some time, a series of screams and shouts start in the kingdom. The war had started on the dark night of Amavasya. Soldiers were fighting from both sides. On the other hand, Chandralekha had also taken up the sword in her hand. She was somehow fighting the soldiers with her sword in the light of torches. Nagavannam's eyes fall on Chandralekha. He gets mesmerized by her beauty. The soldiers are ordered that no soldier will make any lethal attack on that girl. After a few hours, King Chandrasej loses this war. King Nagavannam gives orders to his soldiers in front of Chandralekha. After that, Nagavannam's soldiers, along with her father, pour kerosene on the remaining soldiers, people and children and burn them alive. The whole Satnampur reverberates with screams. Tears start falling from Chandralekha's eyes. After a few minutes, everything becomes quiet in this dark night. Nagavannam and his soldiers kidnap the women of the kingdom. For many days, his soldiers forcefully quenched their thirst with those women. Nagavanam had heard a lot about Chandralekha's dance. But I had never seen her dance with my own eyes. King Nagavanam had forced her to dance many times. But she did not listen. Every night, Nagavanam would force Chandralekha to satisfy his lust. Also, if she did not listen, he would beat her body with a whip. Wounds had appeared on her body. Chandralekha had stopped eating and drinking. Day by day, her body was getting weaker. She thought to herself, if only she had listened to her father that day, then perhaps she would not have to see this day. It was midnight. King Nagavanam, after having his meal, went towards Chandralekha's room. When he opened the door, he saw that Chandralekha was hanging from a noose. After that, King Nagavanam started to remain drunk and worried most of the time. After a few months, when the king did not come out of his room for 2 days, the ministers broke the door and went inside. They saw that King Nagavanam was sitting lifelessly on a chair. When the doctor comes and examines them, it is found that they had died of a heart attack 2 days ago. After the death of the king, a rebellion begins in that kingdom, in which the commander and many soldiers are killed. After a few weeks, this rebellion calms down. Later it is found out that Nagavanam's younger sister Nagaindi was behind this rebellion. The commander himself wanted to become the king. That is why Nagaindi planned this rebellion. Nagaindi becomes the queen of that kingdom and starts ruling. Chandralekha's mother fainted in the battlefield, due to which the soldiers thought that she had died and they left from there. People hiding far away treated her mother and saved her life. When the news of the death of her husband and daughter reaches her, she drowns in a bottomless ocean of sorrow. But after a few days, Chandralekha's mother says in anger, just as he has destroyed my family, in the same way I will extinguish even the last lamp of his family. The painful death of her husband and daughter had made her ruthless. 6 months later, Chandralekha's mother Himwati reaches Nagaindi's kingdom. After a lot of effort, Himwati gets a job as a maid in her palace. Queen Nagaindi had a son who was only 7 years old. Due to Himwati's concentration towards work, Queen Nagaindi also used to praise her many times. In just a month, she had become quite friendly with everyone. It was evening time. The queen's son was playing on the roof of the palace. There were dark clouds in the sky. It was about to rain. So Himwati was taking down the clothes from the ropes. Himwati's eyes fall on the queen's son. She throws the clothes on the ground and forcefully picks up the queen's son and throws him down from the roof. There is a loud thud. The queen looks towards the roof. Himwati also jumps down with a scary smile. Due to falling from a height, Himwati dies on the spot. The queen runs to her son and picks him up in her arms. There was a lot of blood flowing from his head. But fate had something else in store for him. His breathing was slow, but both his legs were broken. Without any delay, he was taken to a senior officer. After 3 years of treatment, he recovered. But his legs were no longer alive. Now he could never walk on his feet. Also, there was a possibility of brain injury sometimes. Her son was now 10 years old. The people of Satnampur state get this news. After that, he was attacked many times. Now the queen was very scared about her son. She gives her palace to a trust for orphans and goes abroad with her son. It is said that after that, Queen Nagaindi never returned to her kingdom.